Everything I loved about Disney Cruise. My very favorite thing on Disney Cruise Line so far is the hot tub in the Rainforest room on the Disney Fantasy. The Rainforest room is within the Census Spa, and it is for adults only 18 and up. Includes saunas, spas, heated loungers, and showers in all 4 of the ships. The Fantasy and the Dream also have hot tubs. The hot tubs in the Rainforest room overlook the ocean, and you can also see the bridge. It's really cool. Historically, you've been able to buy a 1-day pass for the Rainforest room or for the length of your cruise. Since COVID, they have been selling them individually. It costs more. It's over $100, and you get the entire Rainforest room to yourself for an hour and a half. So I don't think that would be worth it for me, but when it was just day passes, we really loved checking out that hot tub. I never saw anybody in there, which was really a surprise to me. We just loved it. Palo Brunch is another thing we really loved. Palo is their 18+ restaurant. It is an additional cost, and the brunches are typically on sea days only. They used to have a brunch that was really spread out with seafoods, cheeses, meats, pastries, etc. all out on display as a buffet. You could go choose all of that. Plus, they also had a menu that you could order from with things like Eggs Benedict, flatbreads. People really love the chicken parmesan and the pizza on the Palo Brunch menu. For me, I really loved that it was all spread out as a buffet. Since cruising has began again after COVID, they're not doing it that way. They will bring little seafood plates to you, but it's not where you can just go get whatever you want. I hope they go back to the old style. Time will tell. Either way, the food's really good. Match Your Mate. Match Your Mate is for adults only. It's typically in the nightclub on the ship. It's like an old show they used to have on TV. They'll pick a couple that's just married, a couple that's maybe 5 to 10 years married, and then like the longest married couple. They'll bring them all up on stage. They'll send the men away. They'll ask the women, how would your husband answer this question? And then they bring them back to answer the questions. And then they do the same thing again for the women. It's really funny when they answer these questions, especially the longest married couple, because they're brutally honest and they typically have family in the audience. That's a lot of fun. Another thing I really love about Disney Cruise Line is their character call. Once you book a cruise, you can go into their website and you can book a character call, Mickey and Minnie or Goofy. You just put in the main details like how many nights, where you're going, and choose a character and a time. And then they will call you at that pre-designated time. You will have to push 1 to play the call, so that way you can turn it on speaker real quick. And they will announce the cruise to the family. I like to get it even when we're cruising as adults. I just think it's fun. But especially with the tiny humans, or if you're doing it for a surprise, I can only imagine how fun that call must be. So definitely check that out. Room service is another thing I love on Disney Cruise Line. Almost the entire room service menu is included in the cost of your cruise. There's a few things on there like popcorn or a soda that does have a charge. By the way, sodas, teas, coffees are all included in the cost of your cruise if you get them at a sit-down restaurant, at Cabanas, or at the drink station up on deck outside Cabanas. If you get a Coke at a bar or on the room service menu, they will charge you because it comes in a container. Can, bottle, I'm not sure. So just a little side note on that. So room service is almost fully included with the cost of your cruise. It is 24-hour room service, I believe, from once you get into the room until about 2 a.m. the night before your cruise ends. We really love the all hands on deck cheese platter in there. You're allowed to bring on a little bit of beer or wine. Another side note, I guess. 2 bottles of wine or 6 bottles or cans of beer per person per port. And you got to be over 21 to carry it on. So we like to bring on some wine or port, and we'll have that in the room while we're getting ready or just enjoying the veranda with the little all hands on deck cheese plate before dinner. We typically do the late dining because we kind of just like to make the day last that way. They have a little continental breakfast menu where you can select some breakfast items from. We like to do that as well. Get a little bit of fruit and some coffee. It's kind of our wake up. We'll go have that on the veranda. At night, you can get warm cookies and milk. You can get a Mickey bar and some cookies and make yourself an ice cream sandwich. The Mickey bar is not on the menu, but they do have them. I've heard the BLT is amazing. I haven't tried it yet, but I do want to. I was slipping when we got this. I also really love their salads. Chicken Caesar salad and a Greek salad. They're both really good. So it's just fun to get room service, especially since you don't really have to pay for it. I highly suggest tipping though, $1 or $2 per item, and you can do that in cash or you can actually do that on the app now as well. I really love coffee on the veranda. Obviously, this is not specific to Disney only, but I still loved it on the ship. Sometimes we would get the coffee delivered the night before. They'll bring it in a thermos. It'll still be warm in the morning. Typically though, we would just have a tray delivered in the morning, like I said, with some fruit and coffee. Funnel vision, I really love on Disney Cruise Line. This is not specific to Disney. Other people do have funnel vision, but Disney has Disney movies on their funnel vision. And I gotta say, that's a lot of fun. There are movies that I will just sit down and watch and really enjoy just because it's out there in the middle of the ocean. They might pop up on the screen at home and I've got other things I need to do, but I love, love, love funnel vision, especially at the end of the night. It usually goes till about midnight, maybe a little later or earlier depending on the last movie. Now I think it's because it touches into that nostalgia. It's just so much fun. I love funnel vision. I've also heard that if you're cruising during the Super Bowl, they'll put the Super Bowl up there, so that would be pretty cool as well. The announcements. When you are boarding the ship, they will ask you the family name and they will announce you as you enter the ship. It's unique and just really fun. Jack's Diaper Dash is another thing I really love about Disney Cruise. I don't know if they're doing this again since COVID. They did not do it on our cruise. Since things are what they are, I would not be surprised if they're not doing it again yet, but I really hope they bring it back. Oh, it sounds so bad. They have a big mat and they will put about 9-month-old babies at the start line with a family member at the finish line, and they race the babies and they will entice them to come get their toy or whatever to try and win. It's very cute. It's a lot of fun. I hope they bring it back. Another thing I really love about Disney Cruise Line is the characters. I was surprised. I'm not a character person. I don't really go visit them in the parks. I don't even really get excited when I see them. But on the cruise, for some reason, it's just completely different. And they're more interactive. There's less people around, at least post-COVID, and they're just doing silly stuff. So that's a lot of fun just to see them being silly, basically. One of the other things I really love about Disney Cruise Line is their tastings. Mixology and chocolate and liquor are my absolute favorite. They're really educational and they're just a lot of fun as well. I also really enjoy the rotational dining on Disney Cruise Line. If you haven't cruised yet, each cruise ship will have 3 main dining restaurants. Everyone will pick an early or late dining time, early being about 5:45, late being about 8:15. These restaurants all will have a little bit of a theme. Some of them have a show as well. You will rotate through these 3 restaurants each night of your cruise. If you are on the cruise for longer than 3 nights, they will have different menus each night as well. Animator's Palette is on all 4 of the first ships, so for example, you're not going to get the same menu at Animator's Palette on the second half of your cruise as you did on the first half. Also with rotational dining, your wait service team will travel with you, and I really love that. Main server, beverage server, and head server, all 3 of them are your team that will travel with you. The beverage and main server you'll have a lot of interaction with as well, and it's just really nice to see them every evening. They also get to know you and your preferences, your family's preferences, etc. It just makes it a lot more fun. Remy Dinner is another thing that we really love on Disney Cruise. Remy is another specialty dining restaurant. It is available on the Disney Dream and the Disney Fantasy. It is an additional price. I believe it was $150 per person for the dinner, and they have other options, a brunch, a dessert experience, etc. So you can see if there's some different options that you might like as well. Offering the most luxurious dinner experience on board, Remy is an adult-exclusive restaurant serving fine French fare. Gourmet selections are specially crafted by Chef Scott Hunnell from the award-winning Victoria and Albert's at Walt Disney World, and advising Chef Arnaud Lallement, a 3 Michelin-starred chef recently named one of the world's 10 best chefs. Dinner begins with a complimentary Colette, a chilled champagne cocktail prepared at your table. The seasonal menu has multiple tasting courses celebrating the sea, the earth, and fresh ingredients from the world market. Artfully prepared dishes include such delicacies as langoustine, duck, elk, sablefish, and Kobe beef. There's also an a la carte menu if you don't want those options. We really enjoyed Remy. It's absolutely an experience. It's a lot of food, but it was absolutely worth it for us. I love being rocked to sleep. That's not specific to Disney Cruise, but I love it. It's one of my favorite things about having a veranda room, actually, because there's just that little bit of rocking at the end of the night. Doesn't make me sick, but I just love it. It's very soothing. I also really like their Disney Cruise Line app. Make sure you go download that. I suggest doing it as soon as you book your cruise. It'll have a little countdown in there, and that's just a lot of fun. You can also use it for your check-in, selecting your port arrival time, things like that. And you'll use it for practically everything on the ship. It'll have your daily activities, menus, all kinds of stuff. So really cool, but it's nice to be able to watch that countdown before you cruise. So the app is necessary. Make sure you download it definitely before you go, but it's good to have it ahead of time as well. You know, I think I could keep going for quite a while with things that I love about Disney Cruise Line. So I think I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon. Oh, and I have one more I have to get in here, and that is if you are on a Disney cruise and a movie comes out on land while you are on the ship, that movie will also premiere at sea and you will get to watch it in their theater. And when that happened, it was in the big theater where they do the Broadway style shows, so that was excellent. Oh, and there's another one I have to mention, the Broadway style shows. They're fabulous. The songs, the cast, the plotline, special effects, it's amazing. They're so good. And because they're Disney, they do touch into the nostalgia. They have some traditional ones like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, depends on which ship you're on. And then they also have some more general ones like Dreamers or Golden Mickeys. So I definitely suggest checking those out as well. My pro tip for you is unpacking. By packing in cubes, pack them at the house. As soon as you get in your stateroom, take them out of your suitcases, put them in the drawers, put your suitcases away, boom, you're unpacked and ready to go. I also like to have a little hamper in the closet. I just throw stuff in it till it's full and then put it back in the suitcase. Go over here and check out the truth about Disney Cruise. Let us know in the comments below, what do you love about Disney Cruise? Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. You can go ahead and ring that little bell. It'll let you know when we have any new information. And we'll see you real soon with some more Disneys.